Dear students, today we are going to learn what is the inverse of a matrix and how to find out the inverse using two different methods. Let us see the definition. If A is a square matrix of order M and if there exists a matrix B of same order such that A into B is equal to B into A is equal to I, where I is the unit matrix of order M, then B is called the inverse of A and is represented by A inverse. A raised to minus 1, we read it as A inverse. Then this equation will become A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A equal to I. That is, in place of B we can write A inverse. That means if B is the inverse of A, then this condition should be satisfied. That is, A into B equal to B into A, which should be equal to I. Now, the necessary condition for the existence of inverse of a matrix A is that determinant of A not equal to 0. That means determinant of A not equal to 0 means A is a non-singular matrix. So, after solving this condition, only we can find the inverse. If it is equal to 0, then the inverse of the matrix A does not exist. So, we need not to go to the further step. Now, there are two different methods to find out the inverse of a matrix. They are elementary transformations and adjoint method. First one, inverse of a matrix, especially non-singular matrix by elementary transformations. We already learned what are elementary row transformations and column transformations. Now, by the definition of inverse, we have A into A inverse equal to A inverse into A equal to I. Now, we can split this equation into two. That is, A into A inverse equal to I and A inverse into A equal to I. Now, for the row transformation, we consider the first part of this equation, that is A into A inverse equal to I. And for the column transformation, we consider the second part, A inverse into A equal to I. Now, when you apply the row transformations, our aim is to convert this A into I. So, to get I in place of A, we apply certain row transformations step by step. At the same time, the right hand side matrix I also will be changed and it will form a new matrix which is B. Now, left hand side I into A inverse is equal to A inverse only, which is equal to B. That means the new matrix obtained in the right hand side will be the inverse of the matrix A. That is about row transformation. Now, when you apply the column transformation, A inverse into A equal to I will become, that is, after applying column transformation step by step, this A and I will be changed. A will be changed into I and I will be changed into some other matrix B. Then this new matrix B is the inverse of A. That is, matrix B is the inverse of A. We have to follow some important steps to convert the given matrix A into I in the left hand side of the equation, A into A inverse equal to I. Now, which are the row transformations, suitable row transformations to convert the matrix A into I are: first one, reduce the element A11 to 1. That is A11. Our aim to convert this into identity matrix I. That is, identity matrix is 1, 0, 0. The first element is 1. So, we will convert this element as 1. Sometimes the given matrix contains the first element as 1. There we don't do this step. Now, after making this first element into 1, we will go to the next step as reduce the A21 and A31 element, that is the elements below this 1, into 0. That is, so to make this 0, we will follow some particular row transformations. Now, after doing this, we will leave this first row and then we consider the second row, second element, that is A22. Then A22 into 1. Now, after that, the elements containing in that elements in the column containing that element A22, that is above and below the element A22, make it to 0. Then you can use the suitable transformation for that. Now reduce A33 into 0, sorry, A33 into 1, and then reduce the element above, that is A3, the elements above the A33 into 0. So these are the particular steps we have to follow to convert the given matrix A into I in the left hand side of the equation. Now suitable column transformations used in finding the inverse are A11, 1, that time the elements A12 and 13, that is elements in the right hand side of this A11 we should make 0. And A22 into 1, then the element in the left and right of A22 we have to make 0. And A33 into 1, then the elements to the left of A33 we have to convert into 0. Okay. Now second method, inverse of a non-singular matrix by adjoint method. Before going to this particular method, we should understand certain definitions related with this. First one, minors. Minor of an element Aij of a determinant. It is not related with the matrix, but we use this particular case in the matrix also. Matrix we can convert into determinant by changing the bracket. So Aij, that is minor of an element, minor is related with each element of a determinant, is the new determinant obtained by ignoring or deleting the ith row and jth column. This element Aij is in ith row and jth column. To get the minor, we will ignoring that particular row and column in which the element Aij lies and denoted as Mij. That is the remaining part we will consider as a determinant after ignoring this ith row and jth column. That is called what? Minor. Minor is a determinant. Clear? Now cofactor. Cofactor means it's a calculation of particular element, that is cofactor of an element Aij of a determinant is given by the formula minus 1 raised to I plus j into Mij. Mij we have already learned what is minor. So after getting this minor, we can calculate the cofactor of each element of a determinant. Now what is adjoint? The adjoint of a matrix A, where matrix A is given Aij of order m, it's a square matrix, is the transpose of the cofactor matrix. Cofactor matrix means we will write all the cofactors in the form of a matrix according to the values of I and j, where Aij is the cofactor of the element Aij of the matrix A. Capital, we represent the cofactors by capital Aij. Now the adjoint of the matrix A is denoted by Adj capital A. Let us see the steps to calculate the inverse using adjoint method. Given, let us consider the given matrix of order 3. A1, matrix A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Now, matrix of cofactor. Before doing this step, first we will write down all the given elements A11 and corresponding minor. That is, ignoring the, suppose we are calculating the minor, then minor of A11, we ignore this column and this row. So, the remaining small determinant you will get and find its value. That will be M11. Similarly, you find all the minors of each and every element of this matrix. After getting the minor, we can calculate the cofactors, each cofactor A11, A12, etc. And after getting the cofactors, we will form the cofactor matrix or matrix of cofactors. That is capital A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Now, adjoint of A is the transpose of this cofactor matrix. So the first row will become first column of this adjoint of A. A11, A12, A13 will become the first column. And A21, A22, A23 will become the second column. A21, A22, A23. And A31, A32, A33 will become the third column. In your textbook, there is a mistake in this adjoint of A. Just correct that using this matrix. Now, if A is the matrix Aij of order M is non-singular square matrix, then the inverse of the matrix A exists and given by A inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant of A into adjoint of A. 1 upon determinant of A. Determinant of A is a constant value into this matrix adjoint of A. So this is the formula used for finding the inverse of a matrix A. Now we will start solving the sums of exercise 2.5. Question number 1. Apply the given elementary transformation on first question matrix 3 minus 4 2 2, and the transformation we have to use here is R1 and R2 are interchanged. So two-sided arrow, double-headed arrow we use for interchange of rows or columns. So let us give a name for the matrix A is equal to matrix 3 minus 4 2 2. Now by using this transformation, the second row will be going as the first row and first row will become the second row. So the new matrix obtained is 2 2 3 minus 4. We will write it as A is equivalent to the new matrix 2 2 3 minus 4. We cannot use equal to sign here. Now second question is the matrix 2, 4, 1, minus 5. Here the column 1 and column 2 are interchanged. So give a name B for the given matrix 2, 4, 1, minus 5. We have to use the transformation C1 and C2 are interchanged. First column and second column are interchanged. So the new matrix will be first column 2, 1 will go in place of 4 minus 5. 2, 1 in the second column. And 4 minus will the column 4 minus 5 will shift to the place of first column, that is 2, 1. So 4 minus 5 will come to the first column. So the new matrix is equivalent to the original matrix, or original matrix is equivalent to the new matrix 4 2 minus 5 1. Now question number 3 of the first question. Matrix 3 1 minus 1 1 3 1 minus 1 1 3. The transformations given are 3R2. 3R2 means R2 changed to 3R2 and C2 changes to C2 minus 4C1. That is the column transformation. Now let us take the given matrix as A. Then the first transformation. After the transformation, that is we are changing the second row into the scalar multiple of 3. That is 3 into R2. So the first row and third row are as it is. So second row we have to multiply the each element of the second row by 3. So 1 into 3, 3, 3 into 3, 9, 1 into 3, 3. And the last row also same. Now the second column transformation, how we are going to do is first column and third column no change. Second column C2 minus 4C1. We are taking the elements in corresponding columns. So second column C2, the element is 1 minus 4 into C1, corresponding element in the first column, that is 3. And second one 3 minus 4 into 1. 3 minus 4 into 1. Then 1 minus 4 into minus 1. So after doing this operation, we will get the new matrix. Then again A is equivalent to the matrix. Simplifying this 1 minus 12, 3 minus 4, 1 plus 4. Then A is equivalent to the new matrix 3 minus 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, 1, minus 1, 5, 3. Number 2, transform the matrix 1 minus 1 2 2 1 3 3 2 4 into an upper triangular matrix by suitable row transformations. So let us take the given matrix as A. Now in an upper triangular matrix we know the elements below the diagonal are zeros. So we have to reduce the elements A21. A21 is 2 and A31 that is 3 and A32 that is 2 into 0 by using the first row R1. So by the transformations R2 changes to R2 minus 2R1. R2 is 2. So to to reduce this into 0 we have to subtract it from 2 by using this 1. So 2 R2 minus 2R1 and R3 is the element is 3 here. So 3 minus 3 into 1. So R3 minus 3 into R1. Now apply these transformations, we will get A is equivalent to the matrix 1 minus 1 2. So here R1 is not changing, R2 and R3 are changing using the transformations. So 1 minus 1 2, 2 minus 2 into 1, corresponding elements are taken, 2 minus 2 into 1, 1 minus 2 into minus 1, 3 minus 2 into 2, and the last row, that is the transformation is R3 minus 3R1. So 3 minus 3 into 1, 2 minus 3 into minus 1, 4 minus 3 into 2. So these all are written here. Now we will simplify it. That is 2 minus 2, 1 plus 2, 3 minus 4, 3 minus 3, 2 plus 3 and 4 minus 6. Next, that is A is equivalent to the matrix 1 minus 1 2, 2 minus 2, 1 plus 2, 3 minus 4, 3 minus 3, 2 plus 3, 4 minus 6, which is same as A is equivalent to the matrix. After simplifying we will get the new matrix 1 minus 1 2, 0 3 minus 1, 0 5 minus 2. Now we have to reduce this second element, that is A22 into 1. Here it is 3, so we have to reduce it to 1, and using this 1 we have to make this element also 0 to get the upper triangular matrix. So first we will reduce it to 1 by multiplying by 1 upon 3. So reduce R2 and consider R2 and reduce A22 into 1 using R2 changes to 1 upon 3 R2. Then the matrix A is equivalent to the matrix 1 minus 1 2, 0 3 upon 3 minus 1 upon 3, 0 5 minus 2. First and last rows as it is. That is A is equivalent to 1 minus 1 2, 0 1 minus 1 upon 3, 0 5 minus 2. Now we have to reduce this 5 into 0 to get the upper triangular matrix by using this 1. So the transformation used here will be R3 changes to R3 minus 5 R2. That is 5 minus 5 we need. So we will write this as R3 minus 5 R2. Then the matrix will be equivalent to 1 minus 1 2, 0 1 minus 1 upon 3, 0 5 minus 5 into 1 minus 2 minus 5 into minus 1 upon 3, which will be, on simplification you will get the matrix 1 minus 1 2, 0 1 minus 1 upon 3, 0 0 minus 1 upon 3 is an upper triangular matrix. See the elements below the diagonal. Diagonal is 1 1 minus 1 upon 3. So below this diagonal element all these three elements are 0, means this is an upper triangular matrix. Now the remaining sums are done in the next video. Thank you.